where would World War III begin from? Now, a lot of you don't know that the globe is currently on the verge of brink of World War III. Now, just one miscalculation from world leaders, it will result to the catastrophic end of our dear nation, our dear planet Earth.
Imagine a weapon so horrifying it doesn't just rip through the air with a deafening bang, but steals the very breath from your lungs, leaving you gasping for air in a vacuum of fire and destruction.
As we speak, Russia is engaged in a fierce war for 2 years now, and with Ukraine. Israel is locking it seriously with Palestine, Hamas, and currently Lebanon, Hezbollah. The same goes with China. They're locked in boundary war with India. It's just scattered around the globe. And you wonder, how does Nigeria come into this? Now, the fact is simple. If you look at what is happening, you'll find out that our belief, our religious belief, so ties with Israel. We migrating from Israel, kind of historical biblical connection and all that, so as our spiritual leaders and our reverend father will tell us. But then you want to ask, all these things you read in the Bible and all that, does it really come in context? Does it really come to play? That God gave Israel the holy land that they are occupying after spending about 400 years in captivity there in Egypt. You want to ask yourself this question. God all-knowing, God all-sufficient, knew that years after there will be this much devastation, this much catastrophe and damage, and he still allowed, or he still gave out the land to another people. You can see the similar thing happening in our country, where we always talk about tribalism, because this nation, first and foremost, was an artificial creation. The British just summed up a hive and forcefully amalgamated blocks and ethnicities that we are not really in unilateral background or foundation. And there's been so much issues. Now, the same thing is what we have with Palestine against Israel, because Israel currently occupies the land, and they are aided and backed by United Nations. Now, you want to ask yourself this question: how then do you think that this devastation and catastrophe is being carried out, and the United States are not saying anything?
And we will continue to work with the United States and our Arab partners. Fast-tracking U.S. military aid can dramatically expedite an end to the war in Gaza and help prevent a broader war in the Middle East. Today, as Israel fights on the front line of civilization, I too appeal to America. Give us the tools faster, and we'll finish the job faster.
The same people that is supporting us, don't miss it out, okay? If this war turns to a full-blown war, everybody will die. If this war goes more than the weapon that we are using now and turns nuclear, every human being inhabited on planet Earth will die, because it will start in any way. Now look at this analysis.
No matter how nuclear war begins, it ends in 72 minutes and 5 billion people would be dead.
Once that missile launches, you can't escape what's coming next. First, a blast wave would rip through the landscape, knocking you around like a rag doll and destroying buildings. After that, brace yourself for intense light, followed by skin-melting heat and deadly radiation. Then, a hot bubble of gas will form a fireball that will vaporize everything inside it. All that dust debris will shoot up into the air, creating the iconic mushroom cloud.
So you see, you and I are not safe. We are not left out. Now there's tussle between NATO, US, and the Eastern Europe and her allies. I'm talking Putin versus NATO. He has formed a new coalition trying to change the world order. So they are trying to boycott the dollar trade style, wherein if you don't conform with the specifications or authorization of the United States, you will be sanctioned, because you know that their dollar is the most traded or most popular currency in the world. Let's go back to Israel. If you listen to news and you see the level of atrocities and abomination happening in Israel, you will begin wondering how this God created people like this. Now I'm telling you that there are war crimes in Israel where Palestinians press will release women, pregnant women being starved, footage of women being raped in order to force information or interrogation so as to dictate or catch any of the Hamas soldier. Now this is breaking the law to catch a lawbreaker.
The Israeli army is one of the most criminal armies in the world. But I'll leave morality to Netanyahu to determine.
The Israeli army, the IDF, is one of the most moral militaries in the world.
This is quite a bold statement for NATO to make when you consider the simple fact that NATO members have zero regard for international law when it comes to the carnage that has been unleashed in Gaza. The Lancet, one of the world's most respected medical journals, recently published a report that estimates Gaza death tolls are likely over 186,000 victims. But where is NATO and international law here? Once again, it doesn't matter.
So how would your God, who you read in the Bible, that your pastors and the GO keep telling you, they keep telling you about Israel, oh God is this and that, but do you know the weapon, the Iron Dome Israel uses every time to hit out rocket launchers and missiles raised by Hezbollah and Hamas over there? Why won't the God all-knowing, God all-sufficient, God all-protecting protect them? We are being lied to, we've been lied